guys, Rave13 here, and welcome to another Gunpla review. Okay, so after the unboxing, why don't we go ahead and review the Hyperion Gundam here? Okay, so just a quick recap. The Hyperion Gundam was actually released back in 2004 with a price tag of 1,200 yen. And I've been wanting to have this for quite a long time, but due to shortage, the price actually inflated and I couldn't afford it. So I decided to actually wait, and patience is a virtue. Bandai decided to do another re-release of the MSV line, and I managed to get the hold of one of these units here. And I am very glad. Yes. And got to admit, this is an old classic kit back in 2004. There's a few issues, but the overall design frame still looks good. Okay, why don't we go to the next step here, shall we? So, building this unit is actually not that bad. Overall time that I probably built this without any... what's that word I'm looking for again? Any other things to do? Probably about 2 to 3 hours, or lower depending on the builder. Now, a few major things that I did notice about this unit here, or in the line in general, is the seam lines and the nubs. Okay, so as you guys can see here, there is actually a seam line at the forearm here and the nub. And you will notice it all over, even in the leg here, and on the pack. So you can actually fix that by sanding it properly and sealing the seam line with plastic cement. So that is actually the main issue of this unit. Now the next one are the details. Okay, so I have a sticker here, and I've actually used two of this, one for the waist here and one for the eyes. And other than that, it's still lacking details. So in the manual here, just gonna show this to you guys, there's actually a lot of details, and it doesn't come with a sticker. So you will have to paint the Hyperion Gundam to bring out its full potential. But that's actually not the downside to it, because even though it's lacking details, you can actually use your imagination to give this a new look or stay with the original. Yes, it's actually not that bad. Now, the next part that I want to show you guys, since I've already shown you guys the stickers, the decals here. There's actually 2 other stickers here. But I'll be talking about that later on, near the end of this video, about the history. Now, the other parts that actually comes with this is the Amour Lumiere shield here. So this is practically what you call a beam shield that you can actually attach at the arm here. And it's actually not that hard to do. I'm just going to be removing this left arm here to actually just show you guys how easy it is to actually install the armor. So you can actually have like the not the armor but the shield. You can actually remove this part first, which I'm gonna do, and all you have to do, as you guys can see, there's a slot there, is just to slide this in. Now you may actually have a little bit of an issue, it depends. But other than that, it shall be a straight up pull the piece out and put the other piece back in. Okay, and there's a piece there to connect, and there you have it. And you can just put the hand back here and install, and there you go. Now, the next part that I want to show you guys is the beam machine gun here. Now, it actually comes with a trigger right hand and a moving handle. And now I have actually put some details here to bring out its potential. You can paint this to give it some details or not, doesn't really matter. And it's fairly obvious for the HG line. There's a nub and a seam line there. If you want to fix it, you can go ahead. Now it's actually quite easy to do this. There. Oops. There you go. Yeah. It is actually not that bad. Now, for the shield here, you can actually switch it around to the other side. Shouldn't be that hard. It's the same design frame. And might as well do a presentation now, since it already fell on the ground. Okay, we'll just remove those pieces and we'll go with the next weaponry here. Okay. So is this gonna work? I'm gonna find that out for myself now. And it does. So you can actually have your shield shields in either left or right. Now the other issue that you're gonna have here is you're not gonna be able to place your, you can actually install your gun here while having the shield. I'm doing this the hard way for some reason. And let's just put that back there. Let's remove the arm. Okay. I just did the hard way there. Okay. So let's just install this back again. And I'm actually, okay, there we go. Put the rifle here, and there you go. Quite an interesting design, but it actually protects your weapon in-game. Now, the other weapons that this actually have here is actually the beam knives. Now, where's the other one? It's all the way there. And there's actually two pieces that's actually kind of sticking out on the leg here. But there's actually the other beam knives there. There you go. So, lack of detail, you'll actually have to paint this to bring it out its full potential. Yeah. And there you go. And the next part that I did notice is this piece here. Looks like you will be able to install an item here or a weaponry. I'm not too sure, but maybe, just maybe, same as the Dreadnought. Well, that is all I got actually for the details. Now, let's do a mobility test next here. Actually, before moving to the mobility test, I actually forgot to point out another weaponry here. And this weaponry is actually the beam cannon, which is this one here. Yeah. Okay, so the beam cannon is supposed to come out here. It actually got its own battery. But history, I'll explain, like I said, near the end of this video. And there's actually mobility here for the wings. So overall, this unit actually have a lot of like, how do I put this? It's called the Umbrella of Artemis. So this unit actually have its 360 degree shield. So this unit is actually for defense and can be used for offense also with the machine gun and the beam knives, which is actually not that bad. Okay, so that's actually all I got for the weaponries. But, oh, lastly, as always, the head-mounted Vulcans or CIWS here at the head. But just to make sure that I didn't miss anything, I'm just putting the list of the weaponries here, as you guys can see right now. Okay, now let's go to the mobility test next, officially. Okay, so let's the mobility test. We'll start with the backpack here, and we're just gonna remove this so we can actually do a proper testing here for you guys. Okay, so as you guys can already see, the backpack actually got a lot of items here for the Lumiere, some details, and this actually can turn 360. Yes. But sadly, that's how far it can go. It's actually 2 pieces here. And you can actually remove this easily. And the connector is there. It's a polycap with 2 connectors. 2 pegs to be installed in the back. And the back is still also got some details, and there's a peg there also. Okay. And there's actually 2 thrusters here. That doesn't actually move. Yep. Now the next part, we'll go with the mobility test for the MS itself. We're going to start off with the head here. The head actually got some good mobility, as you guys can see. Okay. And for the arm here, you guys are already aware of the connectors. It's not the polycap, so it actually got limitations. But the shoulder armor can be moved, and without the pack, it actually can do a 360. Yes, and the arm, that's how far it can go. Yeah, and this part here doesn't actually move. Now for the torso here, can do 360, but with the pack on it will be limited. And for the waist, the side skirts, this actually move. A little bit stiff, but it moves. The front skirt, as always, it actually moves, but there's certain limitations, but that's how far it can go. The back skirt don't. And I kept on seeing these notches here, so there's actually a reason for this customization. And now for the legs here, now this is actually a ball joint connector, so this is limited mobility, and it can only go that far for a split. Yeah, but it can actually do a high kick. A back kick, that's how far it can go, and then yeah, yep. And for the ankle armor here, it actually moves. It's connected to the leg. For the feet, it's a ball joint polycap, but it actually got some mobility also. There you go. So overall, this is actually not bad for mobility. There are some issues, but you can do some more work on this. Okay, so let's that's all I got for the mobility test. Why don't we go to the history now? Okay. So for the history, I'm gonna make it as short as possible because that's what actually takes the time of my review here. So that's the other reason why I decided to put the history near the end, so you guys can actually enjoy the actual product itself. Now let's go ahead with the history. So in the storyline, there's only 3 units that were created originally by the Eurasian Federation and Acteon Industries. But then, due to political reasons, it only stayed with that number. But there's actually technically a 4th one that was created that is actually called Cat 1-XG Hyperion G. It's actually a ground type Hyperion unit. Now that Hyperion unit, it wasn't just one that they built, but there were 12 in total. One unit actually was given to Guy Murakumo, the pilot of the Blue Astray, and vice versa. Now, for the pilots of the 3 Hyperions, the first one, Unit 1, is actually called Canard Pars. Canard Pars is actually a survivor, or the only survivor, and technically a failed test subject for the Ultimate Coordinator program, which Kira is, as you know it, the Ultimate Coordinator. But he was actually captured, experimented on, and he's been called a failure. So Canard Pars hated Kira Yamato and wanted to kill him. And Canard Pars actually had a rivalry with Prayer Reverie, the pilot of the Dreadnought Gundam. Yes, now the second unit is actually, his name is Balsam Arendo. And he didn't actually last long because he was actually stabbed by Canard Pars on the cockpit there. And the unit was actually taken by Canard for spare parts. Now for Unit 3, well, Unit 3 was actually severely damaged by Guy Murakumo, and the pilot is unknown, but the next pilot, his name is Ivan Zambois, something like that. Yes, yeah, kinda sucks. But overall, the Hyperions is actually not a bad unit in total. But for the Unit 1, Canard Pars, after he took the Unit 2, he managed to get an end jammer canceller. Actually, the main reason why Canard became a rival for Prayer Reverie, because the Dreadnought Gundam actually is the first Gundam in the Seed Line that actually uses end jammer canceller, which is a nuclear reactor. But later on, Canard ended up getting one, so he upgraded the battery of the power supply of the Hyperion Gundam here into the end jammer canceller. Yes. But later on, Unit 1 ended up, well, I'm not gonna spoil it even further, but it's been upgraded, having a lot of energy. Something bad happened. Okay, so that is all I got for the history of this unit. Now let's get back, let's go to the next stage, my final thoughts. So, final thoughts for this unit here. I give this a 7.5 out of 10. A couple of reasons. Number one are the seam lines and the nubs. The seam lines and the nubs are quite noticeable, so you'll actually have to do some sanding and seam line removal if you wanted to. But overall, it's actually not that bad if you look at it in a positive way. It sharpens your skills. Now, the next part are the lack of details. Now, here are the stickers, but then even if you actually put the stickers in, you still had to paint the Amour Lumiere shields there with yellow. And there's some panel lines, but not a whole lot. And the decals aren't actually a whole lot also, as you guys can see there. And decals are lacking, which is actually normal for the HG line. But the possibilities are there. It actually, if you want to give this more detail, you can. It actually gives you that opportunity to improve your skills. Seamline removal, nub removal, and detailing will certainly give you this opportunity to sharpen that specific skill settings. And maybe other things also. Yeah. And one good part about this here are the extra parts, the 2 beam knives. Now, the other issue that I do have here, well, the details again, because this is actually not actual beams, so you'll actually have to paint them. Like I said, it's no issue if you look at it in a different perspectives. Now, the other one that I really do want to see is the Amour Lumiere 360-degree angle shield here. If the Bandai does have one, it's going to be quite expensive, yes. So if you guys are wondering about that, my suggestion is check out the umbrella of Artemis, which is actually a 360-degree shield that the Blitz Gundam destroyed in the first season of Gundam Seed. Sorry guys, I spoiled it, but you guys should have watched that series already. Okay, so yeah, overall, it's a good experience. I can actually advise this. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. So, pick one up while there's still time to get one. Otherwise, you guys will have to pay more to get this unit here, and you may have to wait a while for another re-release. I do have a couple of Gundam Seed units here that I want to explore, but we'll see what other units outside the Seed line that I can review next. If you guys have anything specific, leave it in the comment section below and I'll see if I got it in my stock. This is Reeve13. Have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. I am close to that 100 sub. Thank you guys for your support. I get a special surprise for you guys once I hit that 100 sub. Have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. This is Reeve13, and I may have possibly reached that 100 sub already, and you guys may have already seen that special message. I'll see you guys later.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one.